All right, it's time to talk some sticky puck. We got DraftKings contributor Geoff Ulrich here. We also have RotoWire's Paul Bruno on your screen. Gentlemen, the Blues get even. The Lightning win in the final seconds against Florida, too. Wow. What did you learn last night watching these games, Geoff?
So the St. Louis Colorado series is, I think, the thing that is the most interesting. I mean, I harped on it pre-series. The odds with St. Louis just didn't make sense. Yes, Colorado's a very good team. Yes, they're obviously the one seed. St. Louis is a really good team too. And the plus 300 you were getting, it just did not make sense. So this series could easily be 2-0 St. Louis right now. I mean, they had a lead at one point in game one, halfway through the game. So I think this one, at the very least, I was harping, make this, bet on it to go 6 or more at the very least. You don't necessarily have to bet the Blues outright, but that's the one I've learned the most. St. Louis definitely proving me right in that regard. The Lightning are what they are. I still am of the belief that it's not a bad idea to maybe take the Panthers on the series line. I'm just not convinced that without Braden Point and just with the Lightning what they are, that this is necessarily going to hold up. But
really,
Florida's got to prove it at this point. I mean, I can talk all I want about Florida, but they have shown nothing so far.
Okay. Let's see. Blues, Avs here, Paul, to go 6 games plus 155, 7 games plus 180. I mean, there's 5. You can get the longest odds there, plus 220.
I called it a 6-game series at the outset, but you know what we've seen in the last couple of days is Stanley Cup pedigree showing its true colors. The Blues aren't far removed from winning it all a couple of years ago, and the guy who was the backstop for it is looking like he's found his game. Jordan Binnington on a 4-game streak where he's been 5-game streak actually. He's played 5 solid outings in a row, winning 4 of them, and the Blues are rallying around him, and that they've got all the attributes that you want in a team that's going to go far in these playoffs. They've got toughness, they got skill, they can skate with anybody, they can play any game you want.
Okay.
And so that's the quandary that Colorado faces, particularly now that the shift in the series brings them to Missouri. And then the Tampa team, they really hit the Florida Panthers in the heart yesterday with the way they stole that game right in the late stages, taking 2 games on the road, and they're lights out at home. So this could be quick, and it wouldn't shock me because Florida's new to this playoff participation, and they're getting a dose of what it takes.
Yeah,
the Leafs did last series too. I'm not all of a sudden not feeling so bad about the 7-game series loss. I don't think this one's going to go 7 at all.
Yeah, because I think the Panthers are kind of finding out that no matter how many times you light the lamp in the regular season, it doesn't always translate to the playoffs.
No, we're seeing about sacrifice.
But I always tell my wife.
By the way, Panthers, you can get Panthers plus 280 to win the series. Blues plus 250 there, guys. All right, let's go to tonight because we have a couple game 2s on the menu. So, Geoff, netminder Antti Raanta was the top DFS play in Carolina's Game 1 win against the Rangers here. Who's your fantasy pick tonight in that series?
Yeah, so if I was looking at this series, I mean, look, I think that the first game is it's a microcosm of what you're going to see most of the series. So I still really like the Rangers. The Rangers really held their ground. I mean, it was the shots were even, the game was even. They got a bad deflection in overtime, and they lost the game. It's really nothing to be concerned about or nothing to be, to panic about if you're a Rangers fan. You actually like the fact that they played this team this close. Igor Shesterkin is where you should be going. This is going to be, I think a lot of, 3-2 games and 3-1 games and things like that. If you do want to take a value play, I would personally look to the Rangers. And this is a series too. Like if you're playing Showdown, you don't necessarily need to spend all your money. I mean, the role players in this series are going to be a big part of it. So a guy like Andrew Kopp at 5,000 would also be on my list. But I'm playing Shesterkin for the bounce back here for the Rangers tying this series tonight.
All right, who are you playing in DFS in this game, Paul?
I'm right with Geoff. Shesterkin's got to be the play. I mean, in a close 7-game series, low-scoring battle, you expect him to outduel whoever Carolina puts in net. And right now, they're still riding a second stringer. Still no word about Freddie Anderson, and that's got to be a real concern the longer this series goes. The edge in net is going to be just bigger and bigger as the series continues. Shesterkin comes in at only $7,500. That's very cheap considering the win possibility here. I don't think Carolina was lights out at all in that first game. They were lucky to get the win, as Geoff indicated, and I think I could certainly see them going back to Madison Square Garden all square, and Shesterkin will play a key role in that if it does come to pass. So I'd spend the money there for sure. I see it as a low-scoring series too. I certainly see tonight still in the lowest scoring of the two games that are on tap. So I've got to pick my goalie in this game, and it's going to be Shesterkin.
Okay, so speaking of like the low scoring there that you expect in this game tonight between the Hurricanes and the Rangers, Paul, like what's your favorite bet going to be then?
I think I got to go to the money line again. The plus 150, too tempting for the Rangers to tie this series. I also like the under of 5.5 total, so I might recommend a parlay of these two props or a combination in a single bet. Take the Rangers to win under 5.5, and I think it should be a odds-on favorite over any other option you consider.
Yeah, Geoff, everyone's looking at it on their screen right now. Plus 145 money line, and then that total 5.5.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you can. I think if you play the under in this series, you're probably going to come out ahead, even just starting tonight. My favorite bet right now is actually just take the Rangers to win the series at plus 280. Why not? I mean, it's, obviously they got to get it done tonight, but this team has been really resilient. You like the fact that they got young legs. They came back against Pittsburgh. There's really no reason why they can't do it against Carolina either. So Rangers series at plus 280 is something I'm looking at, but I'm fine taking them on the money line tonight. I mentioned Andrew Kopp. You can also get him to score a point at around minus 110, just to score 1 point. He basically averaged over a point per game in the first series, held off the score sheet in the first game, but I think that's a pretty good line right now that you're getting on Kopp. Again, just a big part of their top six. Great addition by them. He's just fit in so seamlessly with the Rangers that I think you keep riding his prop total when you're getting odds like that.
Yeah, let's not forget Rangers started well in the first period, and it wasn't until the third where the game kind of just turned on its head there. There is the second one tonight is game one. That was that 15-goal barn burner that we saw in Alberta between the Oilers and the Flames. So it's game two tonight here. Who's putting the biscuit in the basket, Geoff? Who's your top DFS play in this game?
I mean, yeah, this series is going to be an absolute roller coaster. I mean, mainly because it's the Oilers and they're basically just a manic team. I actually expect that Edmonton probably bounces back a bit tonight. This is going to be a little bit closer game. Still probably going to end up with like 7 or more goals. But, if you want to get really contrarian tonight, and again, like everyone's going to be talking about the offense, but Mike Smith is probably going to be seeing 35, 40 plus shots on net. And yes, there's a chance he gets pulled again and he's terrible. There's also a chance he stops like 40 shots tonight. And I think if you want to get contrarian with this series, you take Edmonton on the puck line and then you start Mike Smith in DFS. Not many people are going to go there. Everyone's going to be scared. He is starting again tonight. So everyone's going to be talking about the offense in this game. And obviously you're going to need to roster forwards, but there's too many for me to talk about. Why not take the contrarian move, go with Mike Smith? It's high risk, but baby, the reward is going to be huge because he's going to be seeing 35 plus shots, almost guaranteed.
All right, what are you doing here tonight, Paul? We're going to get a hat trick from anybody?
Well, I called the hat trick for Tkachuk in game one, if you'll recall.
Oh, yeah.
I also trust Markstrom to keep the Oilers under a touchdown tonight, but we'll look to other top skaters in front of him for my Calgary stack. I think I'm going to stay with Calgary in the second game tonight, looking for their big line to have another good evening. I don't think Edmonton has a way to stop them. Their defensive structure just not there, and I can't trust Mike Smith. I'm sorry. Likable guy. I like the fire in him, but boy, when he starts giving him up, he gives him up in bunches, and I just can't trust him. So I'm going to just go all over Calgary in this one. I like the look of Noah Hannafin on their blue line, too. Nobody's really talking about the fact that he's kind of taken over the power play quarterback role over Rasmus Andersson, and he's looked really good doing it. And you mix the good fortune that he's had on offense with the fact that he blocks 2 shots on goal a game, and his floor is really low for the price tag that he offers as one of the top blue liners on the board tonight for my money.
All right, well, take us over to the DK Sportsbook, Paul, for Flames and Oilers. What is going to be your bet in this one? The total currently just a measly 6.5. Well,
you know what? They've hit the over big time in 4 of the 5 games between the two teams, and I don't see the goaltending stopping them enough to make that a good bet even on the underside. I don't think there's any value on the over-under tonight. In fact, I'd rather go to the puck line, giving up the 1.5 goals and see the Calgary Flames take a 2-0 lead in this series with a 145 payout. Like I said, I just can't trust Mike Smith and a loose defensive Edmonton structure, and Calgary's just got too much offense, too much talent, and too much toughness, I think, for the Oilers, too. I think they could roll them again tonight.
All right, Geoff, a bounce-back effort from Smith, though, combined with maybe some production from Connor McDavid and company. That'll get the Oilers back in this thing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's it's what they need. I mean, if Mike Smith doesn't bounce back, the Oilers just will not have the confidence to overcome what is a tough checking Calgary Flames team. But if they do get that, again, on the flip side, and I think Mike Smith has shown like he's already done it. He's bounced back from bad performances, from bad gaffes really quickly. So I really don't hate taking the Oilers on the money line tonight. If you want to play, if you just don't like that, I also think looking at some of these props down in the lineup, I mean, we're going to get a fast back and forth series. And, there's some really nice lines that you're getting, especially on the Oilers. Like when you go down their lineup, like a Jesse Pulpuyarvi or Kyler Yamamoto and even Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. All these guys are plus 300 or bigger to score a goal. Why not take two of them? Why not take like Yamamoto and Pulpuyarvi? And one of them scores, absolutely. You balance your bets, you're going to make major profit here tonight. So if you're looking for goal props, I would really look down the Oilers lineups. A lot of these role players playing pretty significant roles for them, and they're really kind of undervalued, it just looks like, because, again, they're coming in as a slight underdogs. So look at the Oilers role plays for goal-scoring props. I threw out 3 names there. Take 2 of them and roll the dice.